Yes, he is a liability, definitively. He works well when he's campaigning for himself and maybe a whole lot of other people, but a husband shilling for a wife, I just don't think works. It did not work in 2007, 2008 very well, and I don't think it's going to work right now either.
Pollster John Zogby on this very program Monday night expressing doubts about former President Bill Clinton's presence on the campaign trail for his spouse. Well, let's again call on the expertise of someone who knows the Clintons and politics quite well. Rejoining us right now, Newsmax TV political analyst and presidential strategist Dick Morris. Dick, of course, the co-author of the best-selling book Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. So, Dick, we hear John Zogby, and his reaction was quite different from the anchors at the alphabet networks who just gushed over the return of Bill Clinton. What do you think about Bill Clinton on the campaign trail for Hillary these days?
Well, these days it's a big problem because these days we have the Cosby trial, we have the publicity about sexual harassment and rape and all of the focus and exposure that it's had, and the questions Trump raised in response to Hillary's accusation that Trump was abusive to women. And I think that that's created an environment where Bill Clinton is a tremendous liability. Let's remember that voters who are now, 40 years old or under, were not following politics during the Monica Lewinsky thing. They were 10. So the whole point, these are people who are now for the first time learning about the negatives about Bill Clinton and the negatives those implies about Hillary. And as those become public, I think it's going to hurt Bill, and I think that'll hurt Hillary the closer she identifies with him.
And there is another dynamic at work. You know, some businesses don't allow husbands and wives to work together. If you approach politics as a business, is there an internal communications dynamic at work between the Clintons?
Well, yeah, sure there is. But they also, particularly she, gets emotional about his philandering, interrupting her career. Not necessarily her marriage, but her career. And there are long periods of time when they don't talk to each other. I believe that between March 95 and the end of May 95, for 90 days, Bill and Hillary, I don't think, spoke once. They certainly didn't see each other. And she was mad at him because allegations came out about his using state troopers to get women. And for the first time, her chief of staff, Betsy Wright, or his chief of staff, confirmed those rumors. And it wasn't until May that the relationships were normal there. And I think that if this happens in the middle of the campaign, Hillary will be cut off in private from access to the only guy around her who knows much about politics, Bill.
We've got about a minute left, and I'm just kind of curious because former President Clinton has such a reputation as a great campaigner. Does Hillary look at his almost inborn ability to emote and communicate with the crowd? Is she jealous of that? Is there any resentment that might work into this dynamic?
No, it's not resentment, but it does play a key role because Hillary sees Bill effortlessly relate to people. So she tries to emulate that and can't. And that leads her to invent things about herself, named after Sir Edmund Hillary, under fire in Bosnia when she got off the airplane, pivotal to the Irish peace process, things that aren't true, but that she says to establish a rapport with the audience that Bill has innately because of his personality.
Dick Morris, you certainly know the Clintons quite well, and you know a lot about politics, and we always appreciate your expertise on the trail. Look forward to visiting with you again. And of course, you can get a copy of Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation, and you get this book by getting on your computer, and here's the address you use, powergrab411.com. That's powergrab411.com. Up next, Bernie Kerik and Ron Hosko on what is going on with the FBI right now in San Bernardino. That's next.